Hey everybody, what's up? Welcome to today's video. I'm Brian K, and today we're going to be talking about a really cool thing that we can do to really spice up our guitar playing when we're playing a solo over, a blues or a jam, okay? But before we get into it, I do want to ask, if you dig the content that I'm bringing out here, like, share, subscribe to the channel, okay? Comment on the videos. Those little things really go a long way to help me continue to keep building this channel, right? And with that said, okay, let's get down to today's awesome information, all right? Today is a key of B major. Key of B major kind of day. And we'll be looking at some examples over, basic 12-bar blues. So we're looking at, 1-4-5 progression, so a B major, E major, and F sharp major chords of some kind, right, in our blues, or in our 1-4-5 in our 12 bar. Okay, now what we're going to talk about is how we can get some melodic, a little rhythm, right, into the melody, right, into the lines, the scales and the lead lines, the things that we're going to be using to play guitar solos. We need to have some rhythm. Okay, you need to get rhythm into your lines, otherwise they're gonna not really sound very confident, right? They're not gonna sound really as good as they should, let's put it that way. So you really must have rhythm on the things that you do. And what I'm gonna show you is a simple exercise that you can do with any of the scales, like, your pentatonic scales is a good example. We'll be talking about those today, right? But you could do this on any scale, but it's just a triplet, melodic triplet pattern, okay, that you may not have, heard about this before, but this is a good way to put some rhythm into your lines so that you have something that you can say with some authority that's got some swing, has something behind it, not just sound like you're playing scales, all right, which is what we don't want. So we'll look at some examples of how to play this triplet, right? Like, we'll look at the minor pentatonic scale. So, in the key of B minor, we're looking at that big 2-octave shape. We know right here, right? Usually the first scale we all learn is this minor pentatonic scale, and we're just looking at the low E up to the high E, right? Okay, that particular minor pentatonic shape. All right, so we're looking at a triplet. So you want to put a triplet on here, okay? And how do well, first off, you'd want to be able to count triplets in time. And if you don't use a metronome, or you haven't used your metronome, it's time to dust it off and get it rocking out. But it's real easy to count a triplet, okay? And I have this set, let's see. I'm at 80 BPM right here, but here's your triplet, right? Here's the clicks. Right? You just say the number on the click, and then the word triplet in between, evenly spaced, 1 triplet, 2 triplet, 3 triplet, 4 triplet, 1 triplet, 2 triplet, 3 triplet, 4 triplet. We're in 4/4 time. That's how you'd count your triplets. Okay, just like that. 1 triplet, 2 triplet, 3 triplet, 4 triplet. If you don't have a metronome, you can still count them on your own, but you want to be able to have that flow of the triplet, because when you play your scale, right, you want to segment it into little groups of 3 notes, which is what your triplets are. Okay, that's your triplet. So 1 triplet, right, then you go to the next note in the scale, start on the first note, play the first 3 notes of that pentatonic, minor pentatonic shape, right, then I went to the second note, right? Do a triplet, so 1 triplet, 2 triplet, right? And you do this off of each scale tone, each one of them. Go to each scale tone and take a triplet, 3 notes moving up, in this case ascending, right? And then when you get up to the top, you're going to slap it into reverse, right, and just go back, descend back home to where you started, right, with the triplets. Right, 3 triplet, 4 triplet, 1 triplet, 2 triplet, so on, right, until you get back home. up and down in the scale. If you have the metronome, which is a good tool, you guys use the metronome and do these, right? Keep it even. At whatever tempo works for you to do these, right? Doesn't have to be 80, but you do it at a tempo that you can maintain that triplet flow. You'll start putting some rhythm into your lines because it will start to just sink right in. It settles into your playing the more of this that you do, and you'll have a really good rhythmical kind of snap, rhythmical snap to the things you start to play, which is what you want, because you don't want to just sound like you're playing methodical scale things. You want to have things that are moving in both directions, like melody does. So you want to have that going on with your guitar solo so that it doesn't sound like you're playing like a triplet pattern. That's not the idea. It's a, you know, hey, you know, you're up, you know, it's your guitar solo. That's not what we're talking about, but doing this settles into to giving you some kind of rhythm to say things. It starts to come out that way, etc. Okay, but that's the idea. All right, so you could do this on any scale. It doesn't have to be like just the minor pentatonic. You could use your major pentatonics. Could be 7-note scales like your major scale itself, the major scale, you know. Any scale that you could think of, any scale that you know. Whatever scales that you're into, throw this melodic triplet pattern on them and good things start to happen, okay? I'm going to give you some musical examples over like a 12 bar in B, you know, B major blues, right? I'll be using major and minor pentatonics. I'll be using other types of scales, but you'll hear that I'm going to put a lot of triplets in this so you can hear how this starts to sound, right? What you have to develop, what you're going to be able to do when you play these things, okay? Let's check it out. As we can hear, having that triplet snap into your playing, right? When you get that going into your playing, that melodic sense that you start developing by practicing these triplets is going to give you a lot more of options and a lot more things that you could say with the information that you already know. Okay, have a good time with this, and until next time, enjoy playing your guitar. We'll catch you then.